There was a director you worked with as well who must have been fascinating. Did he make things happen on set?
Oh, he's absolutely, he'll talk your head off about that, because he is absolutely convinced that the moment idea, that this is it. Of course, he goes much further. He absolutely believes, and of course, he lies a lot, but I think he believes believes it when he says it, that most of the good things in movies happen by accident, and he certainly does it, and you can see that he has this theory when he's directing a film. I call it planned improvisation, because he's very well prepared. He knows the camera. He knows composition. I don't know what he thinks about actors, but I think that's good. I think this is planned. He gets actors sort of working, competing with each other, and he keeps actors from knowing exactly what's going to happen next. And all this works toward this planned improvisation. And I don't know of anybody else that does this, but this, I think, is a wonderful means of every once in a while catching these moments.
Yes. But that must be frightening for an actor, not to know what's going to happen next.
You don't, but this, everything goes up for grabs, and nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. He'll do things. I did a picture with Richard Whitmark, and I hadn't worked with him before, and Ford came up to me the first day and said, this Whitmark's a pretty good country actor, now watch him, because he'll fix you. Well, I said, so I did watch him. But it was fine. But at the end of the picture, Dick told me that Ford came to him and told him the same thing about me. You know, this getting, and when they say, people say, well, it's Ford, everything wonderfully organized and everything quiet on a Ford set. There's nothing quiet about a Ford set. There's tension, and because everybody doesn't exactly know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And this is good. Yeah. This is a part of the magic of film, which I think has always been there and is still there.
Yeah. But is it true that you wore the same hat through all your westerns?
Yes. I've been sort of have a superstition about hats. My father gave me a hat years ago that I still have, that I wore in Harvey, and when the first Western I did, I got a hat, and it finally wore out because it wasn't a very good hat to start with. And but I kept bringing it on the set to have it there so it wouldn't break the spell. But I had trouble with Ford because in the first picture I did for him, he wanted me to wear one of Duke Wayne's hats, and it was a terrible big thing. I didn't want to. And so we had our first run-in, and I had my hat there, and we had a terrible thing. But he finally said I could wear my hat. I know. But he said, the next, if you ever work for me again, which I doubt, I want you to have it in your contract that you have hat approval. And I didn't, you don't take it lightly, Mr. Ford, so I did have it in my contract. And then the next picture was Liberty Valance, and he wouldn't let me wear a hat and that at all.
You kept the same horse too, didn't you? You had that.
Same horse, yeah. Same horse for 21 years.
Good Lord. Did anybody else ever have it in the meantime? I mean.
Yes, Audie Murphy touted me onto the horse. It was belonged to a little girl by the name of Stevie Myers, who was the daughter of an old wrangler for W.S. Hart and all the old boys. And she still is in the horse business for the movies. But she had the horse, and the horse his name was Pie, and the horse had hurt some people and was sort of mean, and she didn't even show him to him, but I noticed him over there, and he was a nice looking, a small horse. I found out he's quarter horse and thoroughbred, actually, is sort of a mixture. And I asked to ride him, and I think it was almost a human thing between us. I think we liked each other.
Yes.
And I got so, I really talked to this horse. I know he understood. I know. I know one night, boy, I'm coming into a town and I have a little bell on the horn of the saddle. And this sort of identifies me. And the bad guys are in the saloon, they're going to get me. And they hear the bell, and they say, here he comes. Now what Pi had to do, the camera goes on Pi's legs, and then cut to the bad guys in there, and goes on as Pi is walking, and then it goes up, and there's nobody on Pi, and he's walking. And they say, now how long is it going to take you to get Pi to walk? And it was 3 o'clock at night, and there were lights and everything. How long is it going to get you take you to get Pi to walk down this long street all by himself? And I said, well, I'll talk to him. and I went back, and I said, Pi, now this is tough because you're a horse. But you have to walk straight down there, and I'm not going to be on you, you see. But you have to walk right straight down and clear to the other end of the set. And the fellow says, how long is it going to take? You're going to talk all night? I said, no, I think you'll do it. So that was a dolly shot, you know, with oil. So they rolled the cameras, and Pi did it the first time. It was amazing, amazing. I loved him. I loved the horse.
I think you tell smashing stories. Apropos of nothing at all, except you and I know what we're talking about, I hear that you and your wife are very bad at remembering anniversaries.
Yes, we are. I don't know why that is. When the two grown people can't remember when you were born and when your wife was born, it's been very embarrassing over there. We would just forget. And yesterday, Gloria opened a cable from America, and it said, have a nice time on your trip to Amsterdam. We're going over to Amsterdam for a couple of days. And Gloria showed this to me and said, why would they, this is from my business manager's office. He said, why would he send this? He knows you're going to Amsterdam. Why would he send best wishes for that? What she didn't know was this was code for tomorrow is Gloria's birthday. And so this is the way I found out, and today is Gloria's birthday.
And she's
there's the birthday girl.